Hi and welcome to my playhouse, and today it's decent weather outside and I thought I would take my e-bike out of the garage, which is over here, and I will make sure that they still work. You need to charge the batteries ever so slightly often so that they keep working. And I haven't done so this battery has stopped working. The battery lives in this compartment here of the e-bike, so I have taken it out and it's there. You don't need anything to charge the battery. You actually plug the charger directly into the side of the battery. Right there is the charging port. So I have already had this battery with me down to the basement to see if I could figure out what was wrong with this. And from what I could gather, the voltage is way too low on it, so might have to go and look at that. But let's just so that you can see that it's from this e-bike and it does not work. We moved into the basement where I have all my tools. I have the charger for the battery here. This is a 36-volt battery, and the charger is 42 volts, so there's a little bit of an overcharge on that. That's perfectly good. So let's measure the charger first. I have my trusty old fluke meter here, there, and the usual way is that the outside is the negative and the inside is the positive, and we get 42.0 volts, so very precise. So let's try and connect that to the battery here. I do have this lock of the battery, which has 3 positions. So there's like locked, and well, it has some signs down here. They are impossible to read, but we're gonna try all of them. It's not a problem. So this LED is supposed to turn red if it's charging. So if we put this down here and we flip this around, we should be able. I don't know what position it should be charging in, but it doesn't do it in any of them. But we do have some connectors here on the battery end. So this says positive and this says negative. We just disconnect the charger here. And we put the multimeter on there. The negative on the negative here and the positive on the positive here. I do see 9.68 volts. On those 2 connections. So my best guess is that the battery has been draining itself sitting doing nothing in my garage. So I think we have to open this up and check. I'm not sure if I can charge directly on these poles here. There should be a BMS in here that would prevent me to do that. So, but well, we have to open up to check that. Oh, we need a trusty screwdriver. This battery is from a Chinese bike that has 20-inch fat wheels. They have been very popular and have different sizes of batteries. This one is a 10.6 amp hour battery, comes out to 374.4 watts hours. Long screw. That's just okay. Now, here. Really didn't want to drill out a screw on a battery. Yep, now everything is almost falling apart here. So we have a battery that does well. There's charging cables here, and there is thicker wires that goes directly up to the poles. Very difficult. I don't see any electronics in here. Just try and take the screws off the other end. So I had the screws off the other end, and there's not really any electronics there. And there's also non-electronics here. There's the locking mechanism and some switches and stuff. It does have a couple of cables going from the locking mechanism down there and from the charging. There really should be a BMS somewhere there. I think we have to take it more apart to go in further. But they have a hot snot, put this white stuff, which is difficult to get off. So yeah, we're gonna work on that. Okay, I've been able to have a Stanley knife go through the white stuff here on both sides of the battery. I think we should be able to press it out. Yep, there it is. Very nice big battery. I though do not see anything but cells. There might be something at the end here. Yeah, I think they have a PCB at the end of the batteries. So to make sure how we can put some voltage into this, I think I need to take it apart a little bit. Okay, I've become a little bit smarter here. The cells actually go all the way to the end here. So there's one cell here, one cell there, one cell there, one cell there, and one cell there. So there's 5 cells in the length of the battery. The BMS is sitting up here at the top of the batteries. So it's a long circuit board going down the middle, or at least there's something sitting there, and that's where all the wires go. So they go up there. It's gonna be very difficult to get in there and see that. Plus they have put on this very nice foam that I would really like to save. So I think I will try and put some voltage directly into here and see if I, with a little bit of a charge, we're not gonna put much into it, we're just gonna see if we can kickstart it. I luckily have a very nice power supply, so that can do such a thing. So let's get the leads and turn that on. 13 volts was what we used it at last time. That should be a very nice voltage. We need something to put down there to get a good connection, and I do see the black leads going this way and the red leads going up this way. Oh, but before I do that, I'm gonna limit the power. We don't want a lot of power, so we'll go with like an amp. There, close enough. I might just be able to put the leads in here. I have made these smaller at some point. No, this is too tight. Dang it. Can we use one of those screws? Almost, but not quite. But the screw idea wasn't that bad, so let's try and See if I have a connection here. I do. It does take ever so slightly charged there. It is not much. And it disappeared to nothing. So I disconnect it again and put it back on. It took a charge for a millisecond. No. Let's measure if the voltage changed. Plus, minus. It did. Now we see 11.34 volts. Okay. So if we put the back on, it does charge for a second or two. So I think I'm gonna be brave and I'm gonna raise the voltage. Let's go for 20. Oh, now it takes in some power again. So let's raise it slowly. We are under a watt right now, so it's not. Oh, now it's taking over a watt. So. And it looks like this. Minus is connected to the negative lead, plus is to the positive lead. And it's still taking in a little bit of power. We're gonna give it a little bit more. So it takes some power and it leaves it 20 volts. It takes a little bit of power and then it stops again. Yeah, but now we are at 20 volts. You don't have to take many milliamps to get up to a watt. So should we continue? The charger is 42 volts, so we could probably go up at least 40 volts without any danger. So yeah, this power supply goes all the way to 60, so we can go pretty high. Oh, we were up touching 10 watts. So I want to go up a little bit and then I want to see it drop to under a watt. There we are over a watt. I would expect that if we get the voltage up enough, I will be able to plug in the normal charger, and the normal charger will be able to charge it the rest of the way. We do really want it to use the built-in BMS that is sitting along here, because that has all kind of good features that we might want, like balancing and safety. Right now we don't have much safety, so it might not be good to go all the way to 40 volts actually. If there is a dead cell or something, but we are still pretty safe. It's not. Yeah, 5 watts. Let's wait. It seems that it's taking in a charge. This feels right. As the voltage goes up, it takes longer and longer to drop under 1 watt. If this was just a capacitor or something that I was charging up, it would do that faster. 5, 10 watts, 3 watts, 2 watts, 2.5 watts, 2 watts. Okay, that's a little more. So if this works, I wouldn't even have to take the battery apart to do this trick. So let's hope that is the case. It's taking in 50 milliamps, 40 milliamps, and we're at 1 watt. It's a little bit funny to think of that this battery here, which is this size, put in that bicycle would be able to bring me like 20-30 kilometers away from where we started. I don't know how far it could bring me, but it would be safe to say about 30 kilometers it could bring me, and it's not that big. So I want to try and bring the voltage up to 28 volts and see if that is enough to kick in the charger. I would expect it to be, but yeah, might not be. So I'll wait until it's down to under a watt and then we'll do it. It is actually taking quite a while now, so I think my theory is correct. We are actually charging the cells. The nominal value of these batteries are 3.7 volts, isn't it? 3.7, is that correct? Oh, I forget. 3.6, 3.7 volts. If I'm not mistaken, there's 1, 2, 3. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is 8 cells times 5. That's 40 cells. How does the math work on that? So if the batteries are 3.6 volts, it would take 10 cells in series to go up to 36 volts. That kind of adds up because these are 2600 milliamp hour cells, and so that's 4 batteries that is needed to get up to that. So that's probably how they do it. In the meanwhile, while I've been trying to calculate that, I can see that we are now under a watt here. So I think we'll try and see if the charger will take over. Before we do that, I do want to take a voltage reading. Let's see what the voltage is. That says 25.67. I'll connect this again. We should see it's charging up a little bit again. It was rather quick about it though. Then I want to make the charger ready, and the charging port is on the other side. So remove these and try and connect the charger. And nothing's happening. Key. Yep. We aren't there yet, or this is not working at all. One of the two. So I'm gonna continue up. Let's go to yeah, 29. Oh, it's taking in like 20 watts now. Still under an amp, so it's not a lot of power it's taking in. And that power is gonna be split between the 4 batteries in each. If you want to try and relive batteries like this, it's very important to do it very carefully. You don't want to charge them with a whole lot in no time. You have to give yourself good time and have the batteries come up slowly. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, and that's why you need a laboratory power supply to do this. Here is the charger for the bicycle, and we can see here that it's outputting 42 volts DC, 2 amps, 42 times 2 is 84 watts. And if you've been following along, I've been charging or reliving the batteries with, I'm trying to keep it under 10 watts. And sometimes at the moment it's charging with 1.2 watts. So it's very little compared to what the charger here is gonna pump into the batteries as soon as this works. This is actually a little bit too powerful for my liking. So we are still connected, and over here we are about 0.9 watts to 1.2 watts. So not a lot. and I have gotten the voltage up to about 30 volts. My well pump is pumping, so yeah, I'll be working for the next 12 minutes without you. So while my well pump has been running, I've been working to getting this up to 32 volts, and it's not there yet, but it's taking in less and less power. And as this battery gets up at voltage, they are happy to take in more and more power. So well, 140 milliamps is nothing if they're good, and it looks like they're taking a good charge. But I did see something strange just before. Look at the multimeter here, and before I was only getting the voltage of, let's see, if I connect here and there, we get the voltage and it drops rapidly, and then I get like a 3 point something, 2.1.8 something. Something has changed, so it's doing something else. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but it still takes in the charge as soon as I connect the leads again. It's still taking in 140 milliamp hours. So maybe I've woken up the electronics in there and it's able to shut itself off and stuff. So I think we might be ready to try and use the charger. Each cell is right now up to 3.2 volts, which is in the most definitely good. It's not exactly at 3.2 volts yet, because it's only at that voltage as long as it's pumping in power. If this reaches 0, it would be at about 3.2 volts. Let's try this again. We have the charger here, like that. Come on. Still only green. Try the key. I'm in the wrong position. Nothing. Still nothing. Ah, that's too bad. I'm still raising the voltage on this. I've gotten it up to about 33 volts at the moment. So yeah, we're gonna give this another go and see if we are there yet. Are we there yet, Mom? So let's see what happens. Nope, still not changing color or charging or anything. Just gonna try the key. Yep. Keep working on it, Morten. Okay, it's the next morning, and I have had this charging up to almost 35 volts, and if the battery doesn't kick in at 35 volts and is able to get charged there, something is definitely wrong. So yeah, we're gonna have a look into it and see what is going on here. So I've opened it up. I took my little razor blade and I cut very carefully next to the PCB all the way here. I see that I did scratch the surface of some of the cells here, but there is a nice piece of cardboard, this green stuff in there as well to protect it. I'm sure it's fine. There were this little temperature sensor here. I hope I haven't damaged that. Kind of an irritating place to have that sitting, but yeah. So this is the very long PCB that is here that we can now go measure a little bit on, see if we can get any smarter of what that is doing. I hope that one of these cells has gotten out of balance. So there's from here to there, from there to here, and there and there, and then there and there and there, there. Oh, there and there, there and there, there and there, there. There's 10 cells. There should be 10 cells, right? So we'll measure that and see if anything is so low that the BMS should shut that off. So we have the good old trusty fluke meter, and we're gonna do a bit of poking around, see what we can find. If if we can find the cells that are low. 3.48, 0.4 something 7, 3.4. Oh, there's a piece of tape over the terminal down here, so we can't get to it. There we are. .48. 3.48. It's very well balanced so far. 3.48. 3.48. 3.48. Oh dang it. 3.48. That isn't it. But the output voltage is not there. So it's not out of balance. It does have a very nice balancing thing that you could connect the balancer to right there. We have this key thing here that is disconnectable. So apparently I would guess that this has to be short circuit to work, but I have been measuring. We have this set to beep, and I cannot get this to beep anywhere. Right now the key isn't in, but if we put the key in and turn it on, I think that's on. I haven't been able to get it to beep, so I guess I was wrong. If this is connected, can we then charge it? Nope, nothing is happening. I have the charger over here. It should turn red if it's taking a charge. Okay, that wasn't it either. Another weird thing. I think we'll get rid of the screw for a second. Just take that out. My negative charging workaround. The charger goes in here, and these two wires, they don't go up here. They go around the back, down here. So I thought that was weird. It looked like it could be these two, but they don't feel like the same wires. That's another. I think I'm gonna try and take the lock out. We're just gonna take that pin in. That's the pin that does so that you can take the battery out of the bicycle. And then let's take the lock out. See what's going on down there. There's a chance that those pins are connected to these pins, and if so, would be nice to see which ones. It's loose. Is there any loose? Not I can see. Okay, so it seems that the negative one, can you see this? So the middle pin of the charging is not used for anything, and this one is a charging port, and that one is a charging port. Okay, that's nice to know. If I put the charger on here, I should be able to measure the charging voltage there. So that's a nice test. So let's do that. So we go in. That's the negative one. That is the positive. Come on, positive one. And we measure 42 volts. So that part is good. So the 42 volts is presented to the battery The lock could turn it off up there. Okay, so I'm kind of running out of good suggestions here. I've been looking at the PCB here, and over here there is something that is called SW, and in my book that's usually, you can't see that, it says it right there. I'm gonna zoom in on that. There, you see that? It says finger SW. So my guess is that those two pins could be some kind of a switch. I would have loved it if it said reset. That would have been awesome. But it could be a switch. So I'm gonna try and press the switch. I'm running out of good suggestions here. So what can a man do to get his battery back up and running? So let's blow this thing up. I'm just gonna take our pliers here. So I probably did not do anything. So we'll take our cable here and we'll connect it. And that did not do anything. I've realized this is a very stupid battery. There is no like signals that goes from the battery up to the bicycle. It gets power and that is it. So this lead and this lead is what's going up to the bicycle. It might know if it's charging or not charging, but everything else is maintained in the battery, and the bicycle knows nothing about what the battery is doing. Okay, I have no idea what's going on here, why this isn't working. I do have some unbalancing and it's tiny. Like here I have 3.504 and over here we have the lowest cell, which is 3.495, so it's kind of less than 10 millivolts. I don't know if this BMS is that picky, but I'm gonna try and charge the lowest ones to get it up to be more or less perfectly balanced, just by putting a little voltage into the low ones. So I need to figure out which ones are the low ones and which is plus and minus here. So this one is the low one, is this? So plus is over there, Morten. So let's try and I have adjusted the power supply. And we are putting in a little bit. Half an amp. Let's see where that got us. That's over there. Didn't give us anything. I will give it some more. So now that I have had the battery open and verified that all the cells are at the same level of charge and nothing is totally out of balance, I thought it would be safe to charge it up further. So right now we're at 36.2 volts, or trying to get there. Now it's taking in a lot of power, and I can probably charge it up quicker than I'm doing. I don't have to be as careful anymore. It would probably be perfectly fine to charge these up with an amp on each cell. I'm gonna try and charge the cell or the battery up to well, almost 42 volts, and try and put it in the bicycle and see if the cell works or if it's totally dead and wasted. Okay, this is taking too long. I have to hurry up if I want to finish this today. To see if the battery does anything in the bike, I need to put this back together and try it out, because I'm losing daylight. So out here we have some fantastic Danish weather, and I have the battery back together. So I need to try and put that in. Actually, for this. bicycle is back together. The key, I put that in my pocket. Managed to get the key in, so will it power on? It actually will. Okay, so bicycle is on. It didn't do that before. So the battery is supplying power to the bicycle. So the cells works. I'm just gonna take the resistance up. Okay, it's running. Apparently this is 25 kilometers per hour. I'm gonna take it for a spin out on the street. I'm not gonna bring you. Okay, I'm back. It does actually work. So the battery is working. So it might just be the charging of it that is really bad. It helped me. I think there used to be 5 assist modes on this one. It won't go further than 3. Might have lost the computer there. Might need to. So maybe the computer need to be reprogrammed to fit the bike. I am not sure, but it worked. I got the assistance. So even if I didn't fix it completely, this battery, it's still working-ish. The bike is not a total waste. I would be able to take the battery out and charge it, or I could reconfigure it so that I would be able to charge it directly to the cells, which is a pretty bad idea because we need that balancer that is in there. But I must admit, while messing with the battery, it seems like if I put a charge on 2 cells or a cell in the battery, one of the 10 cells in there, it seemed like I wasn't only charging that cell, it seemed like it was balancing while I was doing that, because I wasn't able to charge up a single cell very much. I could charge it up and then it would disappear again among the other cells. So I think the balancer is working perfectly well in there. Actually too well. So yeah, I think this is where we're gonna end it. I kind of got somewhere. If you have any suggestions or any knowledge on how to do this, or if you found my video because you have the same issue and have come up with something else than I have come up with, please do leave it in the comments below, because yeah, it might be able to help the next guy, and we want to help the next guy. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.